Right, trying out a couple of new products today. Got the new Ace stiff rigger choddy type hooks in a size 6. Got to say, well impressed with them. And the stiff mono, which is designed for the chod rigs, nice and stiff, and that's called the rigor mortis. And I'm using that in the 20 £, which is 0.45 in diameter. So not too thick, but still well stiff, as you can see. I'm sure you've all seen the chod rig many a time. I've tied it up myself enough times on video, so if you haven't seen that, you can see it today. Right, I know a lot of people use a no knot when it comes to tying their chod sections, which is fine, but I prefer to do it a different way, and I use a knot called the snell knot. And as you can see, all I've done, I've passed the line through the front of the eye. There's the leftover tag. Come round in a big loop, go like so, and pinch it tight. Now, I'm probably going to lose you at this stage, but basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to wrap this section around and around and trap these top two sections and butt each whipping against each other, if you know what I mean. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and about 8 is about right, 8 turns. Remember to keep this taut at all times. If you let that go slack, it'll all go pear-shaped just by the nature of this stiff material. Wet the knot, as you will do with any knot. Tighten it down. Keep your finger in that loop as you do so, otherwise it will all go pear-shaped. Like so, and there we've got our knot. Now I've not tightened that up too much at the moment because I've got to slide it down. It's better to tighten the knot up fully once you've butted it up against the eye. To slide it down, rather than pulling it down, which sometimes damages this little piece of material, I always try to slide it down with my fingernails, like so. That's that, there's the knot tight. And the difference between this and the no knot is this has got all the turns are around the outside and there's nothing on the outside. There's no, as with a no knot, it's a little bit slack almost, and you end up with one long strand around the outside. This, it's all trapped on the inside. It's just a much nicer knot. And not only that, the leftover tag always exits at the back of the hook shank, which is ideal. You know, with a no knot, it's quite often to the side, a little bit twisted. Next, you want a little stainless ring. Slide that on. Poke the leftover tag back through the eye and pull it down tight all the way. You can create that little D on the back once you've finished off this little section here. Trim this off with about 5 or 6 mil of a tag left over. I've got a lighter here somewhere. Now when you use this lighter to blob this little piece here, always make sure that you've kept the hook link, the bit that's important, out of the way. The last thing you want to do is damage that section, so just lick it with a flame, be very careful. If the wind will allow me. There you go. Little blob. I see a lot of people dabbing it afterwards. No need to do that. Keep it nice, just leave it as it is, let it cool down on its own, and that way you get a nice glossy finish on it. It's neater. Using my baiting needle, I like to use the crochet needle for this because it sort of starts off narrow and then widens out, and you can create a perfect D there, like so. And then put your curve in it. Again, I see tools and everything to do this, and I see people steaming it. There's no need for any of that. A decent bristle type stiff rig material, you should be able to curve it with your fingers, like so. And there you go, as easy as that. And I trim them off, probably about 5–6 inches. And that's it, and I'll tie up quite a few of those, just in case I should catch a bream or something in the middle of the night, you know. That way, all I've got to do is retie a pop-up section on, and I'm back out there straight away. no mucking around. Right, next step. Tie a uni-link swivel on there. Link swivel, whatever you want to call them. But you want one in around a size 10 or an 11. And the knot for this is just a simple 2-turn blood knot. Two turns round, back through, and there it is. So all I've done is I've gone through the swivel, wrapped the material around each other twice, and then back through the loop that you've formed. Ease it down carefully. Tighten it up like so. Trim him off, leave about 5mm again. Little blob with a lighter, as easy as that. Another little straighten, and then you can put your curve back into it with your fingers. Just the heat of your fingers should be more than enough to get that curve. And there you go, easy as that, the Chod Rig.